everybody.
Okay, who else is ready to go, counsel?
The next matter I have is Marius Shaw.
All right, call Marius
Marius
Shaw.
Shaw, I apologize.
Marius? Okay, Marius Shaw.
Marius.
Morning, Mr. Shaw. Got case numbers 4A0350782 and 5A0321623. One of these is in pretrial status. The other one is on for an arraignment. I did review this probable cause. Mr. Lockhart, would you like to be heard on PC?
No, Your Honor, I reviewed that earlier.
All right, court will find probable cause is established on the new case. Are you prepared to go through with arraignment on that, Mr. Lockhart?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I'd waive a formal reading of rights, did sign off on those, waive a formal reading of the probable cause, and enter a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Shaw, this time, sir, I'm going to go ahead and waive the formal reading on the new charge. I'm entering a not guilty plea on your behalf. That does preserve your rights and defenses to that charge. Would the city like to address conditions on both cases, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. So on the pending domestic violence cases that have been going on since March of 2024, there's, I think before the court sets bail, should just consider the history. So the defendant was initially PR'd with some standard release conditions. There was some concern about drugs or alcohol usage, particularly drugs, but the court, and I don't disagree with this, couldn't find mentioned in the report, so there was no monitoring that was put in place in that case, even though that was a concern of the victim in the case, the alleged victim. Defendant immediately FTA'd. There was a priority hold bench warrant. The defendant then was arraigned in, or excuse me, was then in custody back in almost a year, well, a little over a year ago. The court ended up setting, the city requested a $1,000 bail. It was pro tem, ended up setting it as a bondable bail, so a very minimal amount. The defendant posted, got out. Then the defendant went back into warrant status on a priority hold bench warrant status a few months later. In August of last year, that was maintained all the way up until, I think, January of this year. Bail was requested again by the city to be, I think, around $4,000. But again, it was made bondable, so only $400. The defendant posted that. And then, surprise, surprise, again, didn't show up to his court hearings.
Because I'm homeless, not
We've
because
done
I
this,
need
we've
to
done this numerous
I'm
times,
homeless.
and so the city's asking for the court to
You don't know what he's
start
talking
setting
about.
significant bail.
Don't
We've requested it twice.
Just sit here and let it
Maybe
lie?
nominal
Mr. Shaw,
amounts.
I will hear from you. Please stop interrupting the city attorney. You will get your opportunity to speak, sir.
And the defendant has posted those amounts and then not appeared for court. So at this point, the city's requesting and renewing its request. I mean, I guess I'm going down because it looks like previously we requested $4,000, $2,000 on each DB case. I'm requesting $2,000 performance bail, 10 times bondable total, so $1,000 on each of the domestic violence cases. I think it's more than appropriate. I would also, at this time, given the allegations of the newest charge that the court has found probable cause on, excuse me, ask the pretrial monitoring with your analysis be added to that case. Again, the history is that the city did request it at arraignment, given the input we had from the alleged victim, and understandably the court did not find that necessary at the time, but given the FTAs, numerous bail postings and FTAs plus the newest charge, I do think it would be appropriate at this point. As for the controlled substance violation, the city would just request $500 bondable. A $50 cash alternative is fine with the city. The defendant does have prior history out of state, including a fugitive warrant. He had limited history out of state, although a little bit serious. It looks like there was a Rob 1. I can't tell what the exact disposition of that is. This has all been expressed to the court previously, but I realize that maybe he has limited Washington history, but at this point, given the numerous FTAs, and again, post the bail and then just has not appeared. So I do think the court should start setting bail at much more significant amounts.
Thanks very much, Mr. Anderson, for making that record. Mr. Lockhart, what is defense position here today?
And, Your Honor, I can let the court know that Mr. Shaw had set bench warrant quashes on these matters. He has been in good contact with my office. We just had an appointment with him on Friday. We feel that if Mr. Shaw would be given a chance, he would appear at the next court hearing. As he also previously noted, he was homeless for most of those matters, did not have access to phone, wasn't given, unfortunately, notifications because of that. And certainly very limited amounts of income, would not be able to post any amount of bail. Just have the court take that into consideration here. So we'd just be asking for a release, but subject to the pretrial monitoring, if that would help alleviate some of the court's concerns with the allegations of substance use.
Thank you very much. Mr. Shaw, I don't want you to talk about any of the facts alleged here, but if there's something you really want me to know, you certainly may.
It has to do with the facts. I feel like I'm not trying to run or make this any harder. I just haven't been able to get the right information. And because I'm going through like this, this is my wife that the charges are against, right? And I'm trying to fight them. So I'm kind of like emotionally distraught at the same time. I don't have anybody here but me. It's hard to take care of myself. I have this dog that's been put into my life that's been helping me from committing suicide and keeping my mental stability intact, and I don't know where she is right now. So I would ask that if I can be released, then yes, I'll sign into somewhere. I'll do drug rehab. I'll do UAs. I'll do anything. I'm not trying to run. I'm not trying to get out of the consequence that comes from my actions. I'm just trying to stay in a good headspace that I am, so that moving forward I can be more, responsible on my own terms and not because of miscommunications or, that's,
All right. Mr. Shaw, I appreciate you letting me know where you're coming from, so I think it gives me a little bit of context. Here's where the court's at. I've reviewed really the case history, specifically in regard to the 4A cause number. That's the domestic violence case. And I guess where I'm at is there's been a number of failures to appear, and I understand there's some reasons for it, but, really the court is, I would almost say, bent over backwards to try and give you reasonable, release conditions, reasonable bail, and so far it really hasn't ensured that you would come to court. So I'm inclined to agree with the city attorney at this point. The court's going to go ahead. I'm finding, one, there is clearly a flight risk. There's been numerous failures to appear, numerous bench warrants. Mr. Shaw has, Mr. Anderson, you said there was an out-of-state fugitive matter at one point as well?
Previously, yes, we mentioned there was, I think it's on his Washington history. You can see it at the bottom.
Is it? Okay.
I mean, it's older, obviously. That just indicated they were out-of-state history. Like I said, it's pretty limited out-of-state history. There was, but there was at one point.
Oh, yeah, I do see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the court makes that finding. I am finding there's been violations of pretrial release conditions in regard to the 4A as well. We obviously have probable cause established on a new charge. I am finding there's a nexus between substance use and the allegations here. I am going to order pretrial supervision. We'll get to all those conditions in a minute. In regard to the bail, I'm granting the city's request. It's going to be on the 4A cause number, $2,000, cash recorded per performance bond, 10 times bondable's fine. In regard to the controlled substance charge, $500 bondable, $50 cash alternative would be fine. If the bail or bond is posted, Mr. Shaw, you would need to report immediately to the Whatcom County District Court Probation Department. They're located on the 4th floor of the county courthouse, which is the building directly next to the jail. Conditions appear timely for all scheduled court hearings, have no new criminal law violations, have no drug or alcohol related infractions, do not use or possess alcohol, non-prescribed drugs, or cannabis, don't enter any establishment whose primary business is the selling or serving of alcoholic beverages or cannabis,
you need to give me some fun.
and you will be subject to random testing at probation's discretion. Okay, looks like Mr. Shaw is sitting down. I'm going to finish.
Mr. Shaw's still here. He's just taking a seat.
Okay. All right. It looks like, although Mr. Shaw was booked on the 4A, we don't have the warrant back yet. So just for clerical clarification, I'm going to quash that warrant. Other than that, Mr. Lockhart, does your office already represent Mr. Shaw on the 4A?
I don't believe that we had withdrawn on it. I know there's a number of those matters that we're still waiting on.
All right. Just have to put a screen. I just
Looks like poor connection. I can still see you.
Okay. Well, we'll give it just a second. Hopefully,
Yeah, it's good if you
you
need
might
some
need to just end the call and end the call after this and just call back in. Let's finish this real quick, though. All right, so I'm finding Mr. Shaw eligible for the public defender. We need to set some new court dates here. So we'll do in custody. It's going to be set on, should be the 30th, I believe, June 30th at 8:30 in the morning. In Meadowbrook, what's a good Thursday out of custody? 7/24? Okay, July 24th at 1:30 will be the out of custody day. Sure, we'll strike the bench warrant quash on 8/21. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. Mr. Lockhart, I think we're just gonna try ending the call and call right back in and see if that does anything, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Will be just a second. Let's go ahead and try that, Madam Clerk. Okay. All right, well, I guess we'll just keep going. Mr. Lockhart, can you see me still?
I can see you, yes.
Okay, well, unfortunately, just so everyone's aware, we cannot see you in the jail. We'll obviously have to talk to IT, but we're just going to have to keep moving forward at this point. So, all right, who else is ready to go, counsel?
We can call the matter of Scott Hale.
All right,
Scott,
let's go
go on.
ahead and call
That's all right.
Scott Hale.
Get you called up. We got to figure out what's going on.
Cause number 5A0541719. This is on for an arraignment. 2 counts. I did review probable cause here. Mr. Lockhart, would you like to be heard on PC?
I apologize, Your Honor. We haven't seen PC. That wasn't sent over this morning.
Oh, okay. It was in the ones I reviewed. Do you, can you email it to him, Madam Clerk? Do you have that? Let's see if we can just email it to you right now, Mr. Lockhart, unless you want to read it, Mr. Anderson.
I can just read it. By the time you do that, I can.
Okay, I'll just swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay.
On 6/13/25 at approximately 8:18 hours, officers responded to a physical domestic call at 5860 Pacific Rim Court in Bellingham, Washington. The call notes that the reporting person, a neighbor, could hear a male throwing a female around. Officers responded to the scene. Scott Hale had left the scene. Officers contacted Christine Villa at her apartment. Villa was visibly in distress, crying, and told officers she was glad that they had arrived. Officers observed a plant had fallen to the ground off a table inside the apartment. Dirt and water from the plant were on the ground. Villa informed officers that her and her boyfriend of 7 years, Mr. Hale, had been arguing. Villa wanted him out of the apartment where he is not on the lease and does not receive mail. Villa stated that Hale spit on her, was swinging at her, punching in the air, but never hit her. Then he threatened to, quote, beat her ass and stated he wanted to kill her. During the argument, Hale pushed between the two. Villa stated she was afraid of Hale, that he was going to hit her. Witness who lives in the apartment below stated he could hear loud yelling, arguing, and slamming. He stated he could hear a female yelling, "Don't touch me and don't come near me." He stated he could hear the male chasing the female through the house, and then he heard a loud slam, causing him to call 911. Because Hale spit on Villa and then was punching the air in front of her, officers established probable cause to arrest him for assault in the 4th-degree domestic violence because he threatened to violence of beating her and killing her. Based on her fear of Mr. Hale, that he would hit her, potentially causing bodily injury, officers established probable cause for the harassment DV as well.
Okay, would you like to be heard on that, Mr. Lockhart?
No, Your Honor.
Court does find PCs established for both charges. Mr. Hale, good morning, sir. I'm sorry, I don't think I said hello before. We are here for an arraignment today, Mr. Hale, on those 2 charges. Are you prepared to proceed on those at this point, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. I would waive a formal reading of rights, waive a formal, and enter a not guilty plea on his behalf.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Hale, this time I will waive a formal reading of your rights. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf to both charges here today. That does preserve your rights and defenses in regard to them. Mr. Anderson.
Your Honor, I would point out that the defendant was previously arrested in this court for an assault in the 4th-degree domestic violence with the same alleged victim as in this case, the same victim. That was amended down to disorderly conduct, non-DV. That was from 2021, but it does involve Christine Villa, same person as alleged to be involved in this case. Based on that alone, I know that it looks like there is a couple of cases that went to warrants, really nothing significant, but the city does have some concerns given the allegations and given that this is the second time the defendant's been now arrested for domestic violence crimes against the same alleged victim. Therefore, the city is requesting not only a no contact order, but we are recommending $500 performance bail be posted by the defendant. City considers that a lower amount, given this is a second offense within a few years, but I do think it's appropriate under the circumstances. I think, trying to see if I had the lethality assessment. No, but sorry, a lot of cases jumbled together as that was a different case. I do not have a lethality assessment in this case, but based on that information, the city is requesting the 500. I don't think there was, at least in my review, if there was anything about, it says unknown AOB in talks, so given that, the city is not requesting pretrial monitoring by probation.
Thank you very much, counsel. Mr. Lockhart, would defense like to be heard?
And Your Honor, we would just be asking that the court take into consideration here that Mr. Hale has not been employed for over 3 months, does not have an ability to post bail. He was on EBT as well as Apple Health through state benefits. Unfortunately, has not done the renewal for that, so unfortunately is no longer on those benefits currently. There's no prior DV convictions, so we just ask for the PR release, but subject to the no contact order.
Thanks very much. Well, I see the one prior was amended to a non-DV charge. I think what the court's actually more concerned about really are the specific facts in this case. I don't need to go through all of them again, but essentially an event that was so loud and concerning that a downstairs neighbor was the one who called DPD. I think the city's request is probably pretty reasonable at this point. $500 cash at quarter-proof performance bond, 10 times bondable is fine. Court's going to find, I think there is at this point a risk of a violent offense. I'm not all that concerned about appearance history. Mr. Hale does not have particularly bad warrant history, but I'm more concerned about the safety of the alleged victim here. The court's going to make that finding in regard to a risk of a violent offense. I'm going to go ahead and order that bail as I just said, and then the conditions here will be appear timely for all of your scheduled court hearings, Mr. Hale, have no new criminal law violations, abide by a protective no contact order. I'm going to review that order with you in just a moment. And then as a result of that order, while this case is pending or while that order is in place, you're not going to be able to own, possess, control firearms. You would have to immediately surrender those items to the Bellingham Police Department. So those will be the conditions here today. I am going to find you eligible for the public defender based on what counsel just noted. We will get you an attorney assigned, Mr. Hale. You're always free to hire your own attorney if you wish to. If you have any questions, sir, about any of those conditions?
So I have to post $500 bail to get out today?
$500 would be the cash amount or a $5,000 bond. I'm going to set two court dates for you, Mr. Hale. One will be in custody. That'll be June 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That's 2 weeks from today. And if you post the bail or bond, then we'll see you back here on, was 7/24 still good? July 24th at 1:30. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the no contact order. That's the last thing we have here. This order does protect a party by the name of Christine Villa. It does prohibit you from doing a number of things. Do not cause, attempt, or threaten to cause bodily injury. This includes any type of assault, harass, stalk, or keep under surveillance to protect a person. Just don't have contact with them. It's face-to-face, it's through a third party. It includes electronic and written contact, so texting, phone calls, emails, social media. That stuff's all prohibited with them at this time. Do not knowingly enter, remain, or come within 1,000 feet of the protected person's residence, school, workplace, vehicle, or wherever they may be. Mr. Lockhart, it sounds like we'll need a civil standby.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that the info
He has
you
an
had,
address
Mr.
on Lummi Island, and he was actually contacted by Lummi Police trying to get on the ferry, so
Okay.
I don't know. Unless he has items there, I guess that's the question.
Okay. Mr. Hale, do you have items that you would need to grab from the protected party's residence?
Doesn't sound like it, Your Honor.
Okay, well then I'm not going to order a civil standby. There we go. Okay, last thing here, sir, as I said, this order does prohibit you from owning, possessing, controlling firearms while it is in place. So while this order remains, you're not allowed to own any firearms or concealed pistol license. It will remain in place until the case is resolved, unless it's modified or rescinded in the meantime. Do you have any questions at all, Mr. Hale, about the terms of the no contact order?
So if I can't post a $500 bail, how long do I have to stay in jail?
Your next court date, if you remain in custody, is set for June 30th. That is 2 weeks from today, sir.
Okay.
Okay? There we go. I've signed off on everything. If you have no further questions, you're good to go. Thank you very much, Mr. Hale.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.